Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Mark. In this video, I wanted to share a little bit of insight that I received this morning with a fantastic conversation with my guide, actually. Um, just amazing, mind-blowing stuff. So it's going to be a good one. If you have not already, please subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell. You'll be notified when I release new videos. So I was in a place this morning where I was able to really connect with my guide and start to get some new information, some new knowing, new perspectives on what's really happening with this ascension process, what's happening with the energy, um, some of what we're going through, and how do we best um, ground our higher self and get into the space of being able to manifest and affect the matrix, affect the universe, affect the energy within this physical universe. How do we do all of that? So it was a really great conversation. I was able to connect, and he started to explain some really cool concepts to me. One was we were talking about meditating, and when we look at the physical reality in terms of manifesting, in terms of generating the or creating the life we desire, a lot of times we go about it from the physical perspective. Okay, so we see our life, we see our surroundings, we see the material things, we see matter, and we have an image in our head. We have a vision of what we want our life to become. So we a lot of times try to get from point A, meaning the existing life, to point B, the life we desire, the life we want to manifest. And we try to go from point A to point B through the physical universe, through the time space dimension, um, which involves a lot of effort. It involves a lot of work. Um, it involves a lot of suffering, right? Because we're doing things within the dimension of resistance. Okay, so when we operate and try to create from within this frequency here, we encounter resistance, and we limit ourselves. We limit our energy. We limit what we're able to create because the mind is so involved that the mind is going to fall back and know to create based upon what it knows. It's programming, it's education, it's religious upbringing, those kind of things, the things we've experienced, our traumas when we're young, whatever it may be. We go from point A to point B within that sphere of knowledge. Okay. And that sphere of knowledge, because it's coming from that aspect of us that is here and is thinking in terms of physics and the physicalness to this dimension. It wants to create from that rule book. So my guide was explaining to me today that what we want to do is we want to get out of this dimension. And how do we do that? We want to be able to rejoin our higher self, our soul. We want to bring our awareness outside of the physical universe. Now, the physical universe has multiple dimensions in it. We want to go outside of that completely. And when we do that, we can slow down our mind, in essence, really stop our mind, stop our thoughts, focus in on our heart space, and really connect up with the oneness beyond space and time, beyond our physical body, beyond this physical dimension, beyond the physical stuff. Everything that we see all over the place, when we're engaged with our senses. Every time we have a thought, every time we try to visualize, every time we try to project or feel a new reality, when we're not in this space of oneness in our heart space, we are being interfered with by our physical body and our senses. Our senses are always keeping us tied in and locked into the physical universe. That's the point, the job of our senses. Okay. And they operate through our physical body. So in order to get into a space of unlimited potential to tap into those high frequencies, our higher self, we need to get beyond our senses and beyond our body. So when we do that, we're able to get into this through our heart space, through this portal, and meditate and continue meditating and continue practicing until we're able to get into that space of oneness. And within that space, you're going to find essentially nothing. I mean, you can't really even put into words what you're going to find or what you're going to experience, because it's extrasensory. It's outside of our biological senses. Okay. For example, when you're meditating and you start to lose yourself in your meditation, you start to disconnect essentially from your awareness of your body and what's going on outside of you. Maybe you'll feel a little bit of a breeze and your awareness comes right back to your body, to this physical reality. Okay. We need to go beyond that. We need to get into a space, and this takes practice of slowing the brain waves down so that we can move through this portal in the heart space, get into a place of connection with source, and experience and feel the frequency that is this pure bliss space. Okay. Now, when we're there, what does it feel like? Well, bliss may be a good way to describe it. When we're measuring things in this dimension, we always have a point of reference, a duality, right? A good or bad, or a point A or point B, so that we could measure something off of it. Well, in this space, there is nothing. So you're really not going to find any words to describe it, other than it being a very liberating, all-encompassing, very familiar yet maybe unfamiliar feeling. That's probably the best way to describe it. We don't want to look for any reference points to try to give it an identity, because there are no reference points. It just is. It is the space beyond the physical dimensions. I won't even describe it as energy, because energy in this dimension, in the physical universe, energy in motion, we could feel and experience energy because we have polarity. We have differences, different frequencies of energy and things like that. So we can identify the differences through our senses. Our pineal gland can translate that as well. But the space I'm talking about is beyond all of that. It's almost just like, it's just a wonderful emptiness, a wonderful just presence of just being. Okay. And my guide's telling me that we want to be able to spend as much time in that space as possible. Go there throughout your day, take a few minutes and think about it, move your thought to it, and just hold it. Okay. And, when you're meditating, when you're spending some significant time in meditation, focus on getting to this space, slow your mind down until you could start to feel this wonderful, amazing space. And you'll know it when you start to tap into it. Okay. And when we're there, we have the ability to start to become it. We just want to revel in it. We want to become coherent with it. We want to hold it. We want to just be there as long as we can. And the trick is, what he was telling me was, the trick is to bring that feeling back down with you. When you start to come out of your meditation, you want to bring that experience with you. And of course, when we come back into the physical and we start, we open our eyes and our physical surroundings start to take over, the mind starts to kick back in, we're going to start to lose that feeling. And it's going to feel like almost like a distant memory. So the more time we could spend in it, in meditation, the easier it's going to be to hang on to that feeling as you come back and you're walking through your day-to-day life. That's the energy of manifestation. Okay. When we could do that and we could be tethered to that energy, to that feeling, and we could bring it back with us and we could start to reconnect with it throughout our day, you're going to start to notice that the external reality is going to start to change. This energy is so high frequency. And again, when you're in it, you're not going to feel it because you're outside of the physical dimension. So you're not going to have that reference point. You're not going to feel its frequency. You're just going to feel something that feels like home, like it's hard to explain. There's really no words for it. However, when you start to embody that, and you can bring that back into this physical reality with you when you start to come out of your meditation. Then you're going to start to feel it, okay? Because we're going to have the dense energy of this reality against the high frequency energy of this oneness, of this just simply beingness, and you're going to start to feel it. And it is going to start to affect the grid. It's going to literally affect the reality around you. And the more you can embody this, the more your energy field's going to expand with this frequency, the more of an effect it's going to have on the physical reality. And you're going to start to see things starting to manifest. And the more you can hold this frequency, the more you can hold this energy by spending as much time in it as you can, the quicker your reality is going to start to change. My guide was very specific this morning. He told me, he said, it's not about doing, it's about being. So the only thing we need to do is we need to get in touch with this field, if you want to call it the 0 point field, the God source, the universal energy, whatever it is. You get in touch with it through your meditation, and you just embody it. You just let it, you become coherent. You let it, you just feel it, and you bring it back with you. And that's when you can start to affect change. Now, like I said, when we come back with this energy, we are going to maybe feel like we get disconnected at times because it's so dense here. When we're coming back with it, when we're in that space in our meditation and we're starting to come back, our brainwaves are starting to speed up a little bit. We're starting to come back. Our senses are starting to come back online, stepping back into this reality as we're coming out of our meditation. That's the perfect time to be in that energy and bring your visualizations to it, bring your intention to the life you want to manifest at that moment. Okay. That's when we could really charge that energy with our thoughts as we are returning to this physical space. And that will have a profound effect on the matrix here. Okay. And again, the more time you spend in that space, the more you're going to be able to hold that energy longer as you come back out of your meditation. And if you could touch into that throughout your day, periodic times throughout your day, which eventually you'll be able to, as you practice in meditation, locating, being with it, sitting with it, and feeling it, it's going to expand within you. You're going to bring it back for longer periods of time. It's going to be easier to tap back into that throughout the day. The more of an effect you're going to have on this physical reality when you charge and put your intentions, your feelings into the life you want to manifest, into the life that you desire. So that's the key. A lot of times we want to run off and find answers and start with the doing, and the doing is going to move us through resistance. And that's kind of like the low frequency way of accomplishing and manifesting. If we can do this, and if you guys can get in tune with this energy, and you're going to find that things are going to start to happen. Synchronicities are going to start happening. Things are going to start to change around you. Your life, the matrix, the grid is going to literally start to reorganize itself in the presence of this energy, of this high frequency energy, and amazing things are going to happen. So, yeah, give it a try. And I've got some videos where I talk about meditating, how to meditate, what we want to feel, things like that. I will post 1 or 2 in the description. I'll put a card up above. Feel free to check those out. But if you're looking to start really getting in alignment with yourself and being able to manifest the life you desire, this was a very beneficial conversation for me this morning. Kind of like a light bulb went on in my head. So grateful for my guide to bring this to me. I knew I was ready for it. That's why I came forward. I wanted to share it with you guys as quickly as I could. So give it a shot. Leave your comments below if you've experienced this, this feeling. Leave a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. That's the feeling we want to cultivate. That's the best word to describe it. We want to cultivate that within us in our meditations, and then bring it back down with us and charge it with our visualizations, our intention, our feelings, things like that. So If you have not already, please subscribe to the channel and hit that like button if this video resonated with you. I would really appreciate it. And until next time, guys, love and light.